Good day everyone, my name is LIM YIN WEN. My final project is about SQL Murder Mystery, a detective game for learning SQL. First of all, as we all know, database management course is important, especially for computer science students, because it is the foundation for a career in database development, data warehousing, or business intelligence area. And one way to enhance learning is by educational game, as it can increase students' learning motivations and engagement, thus improve the student learning efficiency. So I'm going to experiment it in my FYP. A web-based educational game is proposed for students to learn and practice SQL in a fun way. The problem statements are: students learn SQL merely from textbooks and lectures only. So you all know, most of the tutorials are quite structured and dry. And sometimes, students do not get enough of hands-on experience because they don't get to practice to retrieve the data from the real database themselves. And if we are looking on the solution we can find online now, the current games are very limited. Consequently, I'm going to propose a game named SQL Murder Mystery. Students can play the role of a detective to solve the crime scene. In order to get the clues to continue the game, students need to write SQL queries to solve the puzzles, then retrieve the information from the database. The game will end once the players identify the correct murderer. This application will be divided into 4 main modules according to the system objective. The first module is Detective Game Design, which includes 3 different storylines design, and each storyline consists of more than 17 scenes of questions to be solved. Second, SQL Question Design module, which all the DDL and DML are included to match the game scenarios. Third, the SQL Solution Matching module, which is the automatic evaluation of SQL statements written by the players to match with the correct solutions. Then the last module is Error and Hint Suggestion module, which providing hints if the players submit an incorrect SQL statement. This is the system architecture of my game. Contains of 3 layers: presentation, logic, and data access. In presentation layer covers front end of the applications. Students can access this web application by any web browsers such as Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, and Microsoft Edge. Then for the web programming part, it is developed by using HTML, JS, and CSS, and also with the help of JavaScript libraries such as Bootstrap and jQuery. In processing the business logic, which is the game flow, it is all written by CGI language PHP. Then the system will use 2 databases, which is MySQL for record the user profile and user activity, SQLite for the game database. This database is only created on the spot dedicated for each player when he starts his game session, and his database will be deleted after he ends his game session. Hence, if user did some modification on his game database, it would not affect another user. A SQL game which can automatically perform solution matching and provide hints when players submit incorrect solution is expected to provide a fun and interactive way for students to learn SQL, help educators to identify the holes in students' understanding, and to increase student memory capacity after they keep trying. Now, I'd like to turn my application to do some demo. This is the simple landing page of SQL Murder Mystery. Your detective journey starts here. And in next session, we can see some brief introduction about the game, and then 3 different story settings for selections are shown next. First step, I'll go to register an account. So click sign up if don't have an account yet. I'll try with username. So once registered successful, you will navigate user to the login site to log in. Actually, I've done some validations here, but let's just focus on the game first. To go to the game page, click play now. So now I'm the player of this game. I'm gonna choose the second storyline, which is the middle level, the bedroom, to play. The description is saying Amy Lato's body was found dead in her bedroom. Is she commit suicide or killed? Click here to find out. In the game page, we can see some game title and descriptions, avatar with game instructions, query log, and the text editor. So the crimes here says this is you. The murder crime scene has taken place and police department needs your help. This field is where you write your commands. The first SQL command will be displayed here later to give you some warm-up before starting your part. If you really want to learn more about SQL, you may prefer a complete tutorial like Select Start SQL. If you are really comfortable, you can probably get it from here. Click here to show the schema diagram. You will need this information through the game. So this is the schema diagram. So by walking through this guideline, I can briefly have an idea of how the game is played. Seems like the first clue is automatically shown as the step now. Continue. Now I know the format of the columns. I want to know the detail of this case by viewing the murder crime type and on the date it happened. So obviously we can find the clues from getting the crime scene report with the murder crime type and on the date it happened. On the date we can find it from the game descriptions. So the game description saying Amy Lato's body was found in her bedroom on this date, and Amy is living in Brooklyn district. So let's say that I know this is retrieved from crime scene reports, but I want to try it with maybe another table to see other data. So I try with select all from person. So now in the query log, you can see an error message saying the columns are wrong, the table you retrieve is incorrect. Now if I don't want to follow the instructions, I want to retrieve all the data. Let's see what happens. There is an error message saying there are too many rows. You need to use where clause to filter the records. So select all from crime scene reports. In the instructions saying by viewing the murder crime type, where type equals to murder. So again, the answer is incorrect. It's saying there are too many rows if compared to correct solutions. Hint, you miss an AND operator to further filter the records. It asks me to add an AND operator and on the date it happened. And crime X equals to. Again, I will try for another incorrect condition, which is an incorrect value of the crime date. Let's see what the system will tell me. It says some rows are missing if compared to correct solutions. Hint, values in the quotation marks might incorrect and there are also cases. Check properly. So it says that the values in the quotation marks is incorrect. So the correct one is 0102. So once the player gets it correct, they can move on with the game and the continue button will pop up. The person who reported the case might have known something. Let's see who is the person reporting the case. So the person who reported the case is 14. From the schema diagram, we can find the detail of the person by knowing the person ID. So now that we know that the person ID is 14 from this report person ID, so we can select all from person where ID is equals to 14. Yes, she is very select. Let's see the transcript of Maria from the interview table. Join tables person and interview to see the transcript together with the interviewee's name. So the instruction is asking us to join the interview with person. So now you can see, instead of just telling player the query is wrong, the game also tells the player the hints on how to fix their query. So for the remaining part, since I know that the second storyline has 20 more scenes to be solved, so I will just copy and paste the correct solutions to continue my demo. Maricela saying that she suspects Amy is killed by the robber, and she also mentions that the last person who came to their house is her boyfriend Joe. Continue. But the instruction is saying, wait, did a robbery case really happen on the same night? Go back to the crime scene report to verify. Yes, it did happen, and get the interview transcript of the person who reported the case. Check the occupation to see his job. As on this transcript, jobless name Louis might be the first suspect. Find Louis informations. Create a new type of suspect to record the informations. Insert the information. Continue analyzing. Second suspect is Joe. Get Joe's full name and ID from person and occupations. After interview transcript, he says that it wasn't me. Then he says it was another guy who drives a Yamaha bike. This guy's same height with me, thinner. I bet he killed my girl. Insert the information into suspect. And now third suspect. Oops. Henry Willie is the insert again to the third suspect. Read the interview from police chief again for M02. Get the ID of police chief assistant. Remove Louis Franklin. Was mostly killed by someone. So instead of telling players there is some syntax error near delete, it also provides some hints saying how the correct syntax is. So the correct syntax is delete from. So now we still have 2 more suspects to investigate. Check out the suspect table. How about checking their check-in history? So we can see that Joe is lying because on that day he is wandering himself around the Brook Creek district, while the Henry is in Washington, which is 4 hours distance away from Brook Creek. So from the clues, guess the murderer. Let's say I try again if Henry is suspicious. So the error message is saying no, he wasn't. So try with so say yes, he is the murderer. You are really smart detectives. Like congratulations. It will give a completion badge for the achievement. Badge says you can also find the badge in the profile. So go to the profile, we can see the achievement. So once you create an account, you can keep track of your badges. By the way, you can also edit or update your profile if you want to. Thank you, that's all from my presentations.